Welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. May you live your truth. Good morning, live from Los Angeles. This is Dr. Erin teaching universal law and spiritual truth. And I'm so excited because it's my birthday today and we're going to celebrate. I am celebrating with you all day long. I'm going to be on Instagram stories. I'm going to be on here. I am having a gathering with some close friends later on in the day, and I'm going to bring it onto social media and stuff like that because I think it is so important to celebrate. It's not to have a show-off day. It's actually because I was one of those people that never learned how to celebrate till later in life. So first, before we begin, I just want to say if you are new to this podcast, there are a few different types of podcasts on my podcast. Any of the numbered ones are the daily podcast to get us in right mind and to know the truth, get us a daily inspiration, a daily spiritual practice, daily challenge, and daily universal law. And if there's other ones that have interviews and talks on there. So back to celebrating life. So I remember in my 20s, I actually remember a specific point in time. I had just left an escrow company because I had sold a property. I was raised fairly poor. I grew up going to thrift stores for clothes and so on and so forth. And I had been working my tush off to build assets and to get ahead in life. And I had sold this property. And I went and I sat back in my car, got in my car, and I started to, it was like this mixed emotion. I felt so relieved from the burden of the property because it was a rental unit. And I felt so sad because I realized that I had never celebrated any of my wins over the last, whatever, it was like 5 years or something of this major grind in business. And I had found my spiritual path and I'd been doing that, but it was almost like I had two lives. You know, I had one life where I'd do my spiritual work and one life where I'd grind out the rest of my life. And every day I would wake up, I'd have a to-do list. And at the end of the day, I would just pretty much beat myself up that I didn't get everything done on that to-do list instead of celebrating what I had gotten done. I never ever took the time to celebrate. And so hence, I got really burned out. I got burned out and I ended up having to sell the properties because I just couldn't do the work. I wasn't into it. My heart wasn't into it. But really, it was also that I just hadn't even celebrated what had been accomplished and seen the bigger picture of how some of that passive income was going to really help me in my spiritual path of doing what I do today. So on that note, I realized that I never celebrated my wins or accomplishments. I would only focus on what goals I hadn't attained. And I think that it is so important for us to take the day to celebrate, take times, not just on birthdays, not just when we accomplish a goal, but when we actually just decide, like, I'm just going to celebrate life, have more memories, have good memories. You know, we build memory in ourselves and our subconscious at all levels. And if we don't have good times and ritual and things like that, it ends up, life sucks sometimes, right? If you don't do that. So today is all about celebrating life. So often we focus on our failures, what we didn't accomplish in the day, and our shortcomings, or we celebrate when we have reached a goal. But what if we celebrated life for the sake of celebrating life? Every day we're reborn, birthed into this divine experience called life. This is a extraordinary gift we're getting to experience right now. Extremely extraordinary. And from a metaphysical standpoint, from thinking about energy and what we energize, I want to, it brings me to a very famous course, strategic coach, Dan Sullivan. And it's all about coaching. And I think that there's so many similarities between spirituality and a lot of the coaching these days, of course, because truth is truth. What works and what doesn't work, right? But this man clearly is a very spiritual, very grounded, and gives back in many ways. But he has the example of goal setting. He says goals are traps, and he explains it like this. He says it's kind of like goals are always out in the horizon. If you're a ship or a boat going out towards the goals, the horizon keeps moving. As you go towards the horizon actually moves, right? So you never reach your goals. And that's the point, is if you're always only focusing on happiness or celebrating or anything else contingent upon reaching your goals, you're never going to feel like you reached all your goals, right? So if we wait, we're never going to celebrate, and we will get burned out, or we will just not. It's very important to have positive affirmation. It's like a puppy dog, right? If we're always, saying, you're a bad dog, don't do that, and we're never giving it lots of love for whatever it did. I mean, when you're a puppy to puppy train, you never punish them. You only congratulate them and celebrate when they actually go potty out on the grass, right? So it's the same thing, building that subconscious programming for us. Obviously, we want to get into the subconscious mind and know why we're not celebrating. But beyond that, we want to also do daily spiritual practices. And the daily spiritual practice is really about celebrating and having great rituals, great memories within our lives. So today we align with the law of perfection. And the law of the perfection says, at a spiritual level, there is only perfection. There is a divine order to this cosmos and a harmonic progression within every cause and effect. Life is unfolding perfectly. And so we have to celebrate that. You are whole and complete exactly as you are. Perfect God, perfect person, perfect being. I mean, this is the point. There is a perfect mental equivalent to every creation in the physical universe designed for your awakening. We can celebrate any freaking time we want. Just celebrate our perfectly imperfectness, right? The daily spiritual practice today is to practice focusing on what you have accomplished instead of what you haven't accomplished. Celebrate your wins. Your daily spiritual practice is to celebrate your wins. And the daily challenge is basically, I challenge you to do something in honor of yourself, whether that be taking yourself and some friends to a nice meal, or getting a massage, or just, lighting a candle and just really congratulating yourself. And so I basically challenge you to not only celebrate you, but pick one person in your life to celebrate today. And hopefully we'll raise the vibration up a little bit more to have an amazing day. So I'm so excited. I am headed into the studio for our morning, Good Morning La La Land. And we are going to be, we tape live from 9 to 10 a.m. I usually get there about 8 o'clock to do some miscellaneous thing, more notes, and have the guests arrive. And then after, I have a dear good girlfriend that just came in town all the way from Cape Town, and she will probably meet up and have a little lunch or something like that, and probably, cruise around to see a few people. We've got a meeting with a few very influential, amazing, extraordinary women at 4 o'clock. And then we have a get together at 6 p.m. for some miscellaneous friends. Very casual. What I found to do is this. This is what I found works for birthdays. So I'm going to suggest this or not suggest this. But one year I had a dinner with just, I think it was like 3 or 4 people, because one person kind of came and went. And I had posted, and some people reached out and said, "Oh, why was I invited?" And I always had it that birthdays were burdens for people. I didn't want to invite too many people because I thought, oh, that's, then they're going to feel obligated. And then, they're going to feel like they need to bring me a present and all this stuff. And I figured out a way of balancing it. So instead of throwing a big birthday party that's a lot of work and you have to figure out a bunch of things, I have it in always really beautiful bar restaurants. I don't drink much, but the bar restaurants are great because you can order a bunch of appetizers. People can buy their own drinks or not, or whatever. Maybe buy, some bottles of champagnes for people or whatever. And you can keep it simple. And then you can invite whoever. And if 5 people show up, fine. If 40 people show up, fine. It's a bar. That's what they're there. They don't know how many people are coming in for that day. So we have, I don't know, probably about 20 people will be there. Some amazing women and men, and just going to celebrate them. And I ask people to not bring presents, that their presence is my present. And I'm so excited and honored to be living the life that I live, knowing that it comes with all the good, the bad, and the ugly, that there's great days and there's hard days and there's emotions, and there's also the rejoicing of knowing that that's okay. That's the guidance system. So today we celebrate and celebrate everything, everyone, and all of it. Have a wonderful day, and may you live your truth. Thanks again for tuning in to Dr. Erin. I'd like to invite you to write a review for this podcast on iTunes. It's important that we like, share, and comment and support the communities that we love. In return, I have a free gift for you, 30 guided meditations, which you can find at drerin.tv. That's www.drerin.tv. Get inspired and learn to use your mind for good via my free app, which includes my daily live show, interviews, power talks, universal law lessons, and more. Also, if you're ready to take a quantum leap in your life, you can join my mastermind, and you can claim your free digital masterclass with the purchase of my international best-selling book, Awakening, a 40-day guide to unleashing your spiritual powers, life purpose, and manifesting your dreams. Thanks again, and may you live your truth.